Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing good today. So we're going to explore the second part, I think, or third part of the introduction of the dimensional system in itself. Of the introduction of the dimensional system in itself. So in the last part, we've explored the first cell, which is the first unity inside of the system. So which is made of 3 dimensions, and those are the first, the second, and the third. So because at a certain scale, a body is always into its environment and is always exchanging with it. So for us, as we are living in the third dimension physically, it's an easy thing to understand because it's our daily life, our conscious daily life for most of us. So now we are going to talk about the second cell. Second cell being the fourth dimension, the fifth, and the sixth. So this is universal. Okay, so I'm going to write. So the fourth dimension, this is the connection. I'm going to talk about each of the dimensions later on. It will be in a playlist which is called Dimensions. The fifth dimension is the inner dimension. Okay, and the sixth dimension is the universal intelligence or universal knowledge. It's the same here. I'm gonna put a little d so you know it's dimensions. Okay, so here we are. Good. So I'm gonna try to make it the best I can. So let's go. So this is another cell, meaning that this is mostly what the inner being, so what we will feel or how we will experience life inside of us. You understand me? So, told you. So obviously this is a body, and inside of this body, so talking about inside of it in a micro dimension, in a micro dimension inside of it, so in its inner dimension, there is the world of its inner dimension, its own persona, its own feelings, etc. You know, its aspirations, dream, and all of this. So I just said all these words so I don't have to write them. Okay, but you know, this here is the inner dimension. So all I just said. Okay, right. So this inner dimension, it is like your sensitive you. So when you are in the world, in the third dimension, you are in contact with objects. Those objects can be people, it can be situations. Those are elements that you're going to deal with. Depending on how you succeed dealing with those elements, whether it goes finally, we could say, your way, or it just goes well or not, you will either go back down to the third dimension or either go up to the fifth dimension. So for example, you're in the nature, you're dealing with, let's say, a cow. We say a cow. A cow, I don't know. You're dealing with a big animal, with an animal which is not a hunter, but which is big, okay? This animal is kind of, it is running everywhere because it is hurt, okay? It has something that hurts in itself. And you're around. So this animal is kind of crazy. And you have to deal with this situation, okay? So now you're in the third dimension. There is this animal. Let's say you're with few people of your tribe. We are in the state of nature, so you're 5 of you. You don't want to kill the cow, but you want to calm it because there is a lot of other cows around and you don't want them to get stressed or something like that. Because you want them to produce some good milk, for example. I don't know, or even not for the milk, just you want them to feel good, I don't know. but you got to deal with this. So first example would be the cow runs away, so you lose the cow, so you just didn't succeed in dealing with the situation because it's your cow and you want to keep it, or you wouldn't have it. So in this case, you will experience a loss, which is going to bring you back to the second dimension because you will feel something inside of you, an emotion. It will change the structure of your body, so the first dimension, and you will be sent back into the world because now you have a new situation to deal with, which is replacing this core that you just lost. So finally, you've done a little cycle backwards or going down the dimensions. First by the feeling of loss, which brings you back to your body. Because I'm going to explain, yeah, but all the dimensions, they work 2 by 2. So first and second dimensions, you can't dissociate them really in the experience. Third and fourth, it's the same. Fifth and sixth, it's the same. So in a couple of dimensions, which you will know this later, there is the yang part and the yin part. So the dimensions, they go together, they make a one whole, and inside of them, the uneven dimensions of the yang part and the even dimensions of the yin part, or the yin polarity and the yang polarity of one object. So dimensional system is really about understanding things with the mind, and for it, we need to separate them in different parts, even though in reality, and we will know this at the end, this is like mastering something. It is anyway, you will understand that everything is connected. Of course, in this model, we just dissociate things to understand them better. This is what science does most of the time. This is how we can understand something. We take a particular look at something. So we take it out of the whole picture to learn about it, to understand it better. So anyway, remember where we were? You were sent back to the first dimension because of your feeling of loss of the car. And then you're back in the third dimension because you have to deal with the stability of your environment. You have to replace this core. So you have a concrete, a structural problem, we could say. Because if you had, let's say, 10 core, it's because you needed 10 core for all of the members of the tribes. Let's say those core, you need them for traveling. We're not even talking about meal. You just travel on the core, you know. So if you miss one, you have to replace it because you'll have to move together as a tribe. Second possibility. You're in the same situation, but one of your members has a herb, like a plant, that it will just feed the cow with or make it smell it, I don't know. Anyway, just sprays it on it. Now it makes it sniff. It holds the head of the cow and it makes it sniff the herb. And the herb has an effect on its nervous system and it calms the cow. Okay? So the cow is calmed. Then let's say the cow just needed some rest. It takes its rest and then it's okay. It's not bad anymore. Okay, this example, we agree that it's not realistic at all, but it's useful for you to understand what I mean. I'll let you trying to find an example which is more realistic, but anyway, in this example, you had succeed because you had calmed the cow. So you keep the cow. So what is going on here? You will have feelings and not emotions. It's different. Because you will have a feeling because your spirit as real has seen something that your form has done. Your spirit is kind of, we could say, proud, but it's not proud in an egoic way. It is proud like you're proud of a child or proud of someone you love and is growing and you see it growing. It's really a genuine proudness, we could say. Anyway, there is two persons here. There is the body that has done the task, so the ego, and the spirit, the consciousness that sees it behind. And you're both of them. So what is going on here? You have a feeling. Where does it lead you? It leads you to your fifth dimension. Because feeling is about presence. Emotions are about consciousness. Are about being conscious of something. You're conscious of something going on. But you're present to an element. You're present to an experience. So when you have feelings, you're present to the experience that you feel inside of you. So you're present. There is a lot of consciousness, a lot of space in this state. When you have an emotion, you are conscious of something that is going on or went wrong outside of you. So you're not really present to an experience. You are conscious of something going on in the world. Those are two different things. And this is a primordial distinction that we have to make to understand more how the conscience functions and how we can have a better control on our experience to make it go the way we want to go. So to take our travel, go in the road we want it to go. So you want to get from a point A to a point B. What I'm going to explain you is how to succeed in getting to this point B while still being alive and while having the time to do something else. It's really about directions. Presence is about direction. It's like preparing your shot with a bow and an arrow. You are really present to what you're doing. You are really focused when you do that. Consciousness is more about chilling, about discovering things. It's like a child. It is totally conscious. It is like absorbing many things of its environment, Anyway, so you are now to the fifth dimension because feelings are more about presence because, as I told you, there is more space and there's two people. There's the form, the ego, but also the spirit, the consciousness that has a point of view which is higher on the same experience that just appeared from the body. So when you're doing something, you are the persona, you are the little one, we could say. You are the body, you are the form. When you're understanding something or thinking about something, you are the great one, the big one, the non-differentiated, or the consciousness. So when you succeed in solving a problem in your outer world, when you solve the problem, you are the form. So you were more in the first cell of the body, okay? Or the cell of the world, but you are the body and the world. So when you're doing the action, you are the form. Then when it's done and you're satisfied with it, so you're freed from it, you don't have any more problem to solve. You have solved your problem. So you can chill again and go back to your higher energies or dimensions, which are the psyche, the intuition, the inspiration, the creativity. So once it's done, you have now a new vision of yourself, which is what is about the ego. And this vision is a vision in which you succeed in living, because living is about solving problems. So there is a form of love that is sent from the universal you that you are, the true source of love and being that you are, sends love to your form to tell it, that's great, well done, And this is you because you are the spiritual consciousness, but you also are the form. So now you have shifted a little bit more to your wider one, to your wider part of you, so to your consciousness or to your infinite you. So you are more in the fifth dimension because there is more of space, but there is still forms, which are the feelings first, and second, you are connected to an experience, to a memory that has happened. So this is material, and all the more you are proud of a form. Even if it's your form, it's a form, so it's material. So there is both of material and space in this dimension. So it's not as compacted as the first dimension, but it's not as expanded as the 7 or 8, for example. It is a middle. So that's why it is the second cell. Okay? Then, how do you get there to the second cell? First, it's by knowledge. Because the more you have knowledge on life and on yourself, finally, the more you can trust yourself and get closer to yourself, to your inner self. Because if you have no knowledge, you're dependent on other people, on the external world. So you're the form. You are not in your mind or in your head because it wouldn't help you succeeding in life. You have to be in the form to be conscious about what is going on and to take some information, so to learn. But if you have knowledge, then you already know things to succeed in life, and so you can be more focused on the experience. So you're more present. Because you don't need to have more information. You already have the information that you need to have or that you wanted. So the knowledge is kind of a way for going faster through the dimensions and coming to the fifth dimension. Because knowledge is like experience which is condensed in a digestible form for your mind. It's really this. Knowledge is like a movie of an experience that contains all the wisdom that you could gain from this experience for the one who is able to see it. So, yes, knowledge, it's not at the reach of anyone, but that's why it's precious. Precious. And that's why it leads you to this dimension. That's why it has this leverage power. So knowledge is really a tool for having leverage on where you are going to be centered, whether you're gonna be the body or whether you're gonna be more the soul, the spirit, the inner one, you know, the one which is inside, the living life inside of the body. So the energy, or which is non-visible. I hope you liked it, guys. It was a pleasure, you know. I hope it was clear. And yes, see you, because it's 15 minutes, so I think you have enough knowledge right now. Tell me if you want me to make some longer videos, but I think 15, it's like great. Below 20 seems great to me for the introductions. That's why I'm doing it in parts. And also I channel a lot of energy, so it costs me in energy too. So I wouldn't be able right now in this subject, in this setting, energetical setting, to go like for an hour. Like, or I would need to take some breaks to drink water, to maybe go outside. You know, I would need to take some breaks for the making it to during an hour. But maybe it will come later. I don't know. Guys, see you.